is wrong with you guys? When is this gonna end?
You like Wendy's?
Yes.
You like when these nuts hit your face?
You're not my buddy.
Unbelievable. Everyone likes Wendy's, right? I mean,
where's the beef?
Excellent burgers, spicy nugs. I mean, come on. That was a chef's kiss and homage.
Sounds like that guy was introducing wieners. But anyway.
Well, let's let the room fill up. The room of gloom, the room of doom, some say. But we're going to have a good one. We have a first timer. If you couldn't tell, we'll get through the introductions here in a second. Let's see who is joining us. Oh, the one, the only. I spent a lot of time with him a couple weeks ago. Caesar, hello. Good evening. I actually saw they're filming the Once in a Time in Hollywood sequel in Highland Park, where we found some of the worst record stores that we saw all weekend. So I found that interesting story. Now this guy, Chris, this guy's actually in your city, and he's finding time to check out the show of record talking about records. This is what I call dedication. Good evening.
And he can't even give me a phone call.
Oh, I know. I mean, who organized this stuff? There are so many people that got. Who is the organizer? I want to know. Who is the Chicago organizer? Was it Vance? Probably it was Vance. It could have been Mike Hubtunes Mike. I've tried to connect with him when I've been up there, but this hasn't happened yet. Good evening. Malaya's here. Hello. Who else is here? Let's see. Now it's Nick is here. Hello. Critics' Choice in the house. Saw that photo. You got to quit posting those photos on Facebook. That cheese stick. It was speaking to my loins, if you know what I'm saying. But you guys can't like FedEx that stuff, can you, Nick? Tell me in the comments below. Tom, friend of the show, friend of all, High Rant District. He is just not loving any thumbnail I do. I did thumbnails with Bruce Springsteen and Fred Durst record digging together. Didn't like that. He said, "Don't AI celebrities. That's wrong." I do the hooded gentleman as kind of the go-to on the show, and he didn't like this one either. Tom, my goal before the end of 2025 is to make a thumbnail that is High Rant approved with big thumb.
You got that actually that photo from Terry Reid, didn't you?
David, secrets, the industry secret. John, Bib Bop Boom, good evening. How's it going? Oh no, this guy is just straight trouble. I don't know if you've heard of the Breakfast King of Loyola, but here he is. This is what we call piling on. He says, "Who the F wants to see a thumbnail of Fred Durst?" Listen, in a crowded sea of VEE, CEE live streams, I'm just trying to do something that stands out. And apparently it's standing out for the wrong reasons. So, unbelievable. Sean, the Vinyl Dreamscape, hello. Wyoming Dave is here. You know, he's using his own picture. It's a brave move, Dave. It's a brave move. I see you've been on the Psycho Platters presentation. I'm glad you found a zone. That's good. KP Spins, good evening. Welcome back, Arnaldo. How was the Bezos wedding? Oh, that's why you went. I didn't know that. Unbelievable.
He's speechless.
He's speechless. That's impressive.
Well, see my answer in the chat.
Oh, no. Now I've got to sort all the way through here. I'm a terrible, terrible host. Let's see. Arnaldo says, when I get to the very bottom. Oh, man. I've completely missed it, Arnaldo. I'm so sorry. Here we go. I had to sign an NDA, so I can't speak of the Bezos wedding. All right. Fair enough. Fair enough. How's my girl, Toni Braxton? Did she say hello to you at the proceedings? Can you at least say that, Arnaldo?
No. She was trying to grab all the vinyls that she had in circulation because she wants to hoard them.
That's why they're so expensive? Oh, my God.
You get the joke, right?
Unbelievable. I just can't believe it. Oh, good evening. Kendall is here, the spine doctor and his Vinyl Mayhem. Brian Glick. Hang on a second. To all my love slaves out there, Thunderlips is here in the flesh, baby. The ultimate male versus the ultimate meatball. Yeah, you know what? I'm kind of sad. Hulk Hogan was a big part of my childhood, but I also know that he has a complicated past, more recent past, and I was trying to be sensitive to that because he did say some really moronic things in the last few years, but still, the Hulkster. That's the great. Plus, he had like he had the heart-shaped chest hair. That's hard to do. I tried to do it once, and it's
Painful.
you gotta be really talented with the razor anyway. We've done enough. I do want to put one more up. Mazzy is right on this one. Never realized what a cool guy Vance is until last night, and today this is true. Vance is very generous. He's a great host, and he is the real concert buddy because he goes out literally with or without anyone to these concerts. So Vance, good people in my book. No argument here. This is Surface Noise. Welcome, one and all, lovers, haters, vinyl debaters. Good to see you. We've got a fun one. We've got a first-time participant, which is always exciting, good energy on the dais. Concert buddy here. This is the show of record, talking about records. Trademark ding. I want to welcome you back. Let's do the quick run-through introductions, and we'll get into talking about sweet, sweet wax. Not waxed, sweet, sweet wax. See what I'm saying? See, don't want to get confused. This is a branding issue. First up, haven't seen him in a couple weeks, but he's back and better than ever. And he does not have 4 Beatles mono boxes. We disproved the myth because we didn't want to get a bunch of bows and arrows in our direction. It's David Bianco. The channel is Safe and Sound Texas Audio Excursion. David, hello.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for having me again. And welcome to our new panel member.
That's right. Well, let's not bury the lead. If you've seen this program, you've been in the chat, you've probably thrown down with this guy and you've lost because this guy is putting them all down. The name is Depeche Commode, but we're going to call him by his government name. You've probably seen him. Hopefully you've seen him on his channel. He does his own live streams, by the way. It's Chris. Good evening.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on.
Pleasure. I've been wanting to do this for a while, so this is a big night for me. I'm really happy. And then he's here almost as much as I am. Bringing the heat. He's put up some Terry Reid propaganda. I see 1, 2, maybe 3 records. It's Jason Rojas. Good evening.
Thanks for having me back on, Concert Buddy. Yes, there's Terry Reid. 5 albums.
5. What's the one? Oh, there it is. Yeah, the one with the black cover. I have those 2.
Let's talk about this one. This is the one that he decided to retire. Okay, Rogue Waves. Look at this cover.
Oh man,
you would retire too from rock and roll.
There's only one way to go down. I mean, that's peak masculinity. Look at that.
I mean, if you're missing the wave right here, just heads up.
Adios.
That's a man that didn't have to worry about others looking at him in the urinal. I mean, this guy is confident and a sexual dynamo. Well, R.I.P. Terry. What a way to go out with that album cover. And then this guy's been on vacaciones. He's been traveling, the globe trotter of the Surface Noise crew. It is Mr. Vinyl Me Please himself. It's Arnaldo. Welcome back. Good evening.
Glad to be back. Thank you for having me again. Hello, everybody. Yes, I did some vacation, spent some family time, bought a lot of records. So it's good to be back. I almost had to relearn how to use this StreamYard thing. So
it's a skill set no one really knows until they're in the bowels of what we do here. So
yeah, and I was in a different time zone. Otherwise, I would have participated. So it's like, what time is it now in Europe? 3 a.m.
Oof,
7 hours.
I'm not Stunty or who else is the person that was in Europe?
Arnie Zanzibar has a penchant for these U.S. live streams, and I don't even know what time it is at that penal colony called Australia. But I do want to say shout out to the man, the concert buddy. Vance is here. Says it's great to see Chris on. I agree. Vance, who is the organizer? Because I'm going to take up for Chris. Because Chris is one of our VEE CEE members in Chicago, and he loves Sugar Records. And he feels like he was left out on purpose. Tell us in the comments below. Was this deliberate, or do we need to fan the flames of drama once again and start up some quarreling? Tell me below. We're all about just mixing it up. All right. Well, let's get into the show. we're going to kick it off. David Bianco, if you notice, hasn't been on the last couple of shows. He's been traveling himself. He's going to share with us some pressing plant stuff. He did some visits. First of all, let's kick it off. Where did your travels take you, David?
Took me through, well, actually, my destination was Asheville, North Carolina. And I also stopped in Nashville and Lebanon. I went to Colecco.
Oh, Chad loves this program, as you know.
You know, I said I started to blurt the word concert buddy out, and
no,
policemen came from behind the counter. And
listen, Boss Hog and Roscoe will come out of nowhere in Lebanon.
We don't need that. Chad wasn't even there. His mom was. She's sweet. I've met her before, so it was good. Met some people there, but yeah, Asheville was where I headed, so I hit some stores there, and I also had asked for to get into some pressing plants. And I got a couple of responses out of the Asheville area, so that's what I wanted to share with you. And they're different in different ways. The first one is right in the heart of Asheville, and it's called Citizen Vinyl, and it's actually in the old plant for where Asheville, the Citizen Press, was there, which was their newspaper for decades and decades, and they literally pressed the newspaper there. And they put on the third floor a local radio station. So now the building has been repurposed and is using the studio area that they had on the third floor for a recording studio now. And where they did the pressing of papers, they're now doing pressing of records there. So, and they had a nice cafe and listening area there for people to come in and get coffee, and it was really cool looking. But because of the floods last year, the clientele dropped off tremendously. But, I got to say, as I told the gentleman that I was, Gar Ragsdale, who's the CEO, Asheville being back is probably the best kept secret around, because
not to cut you off, David, but KRWD did ask, have things improved in Asheville with the hurricane last year?
Yeah, thanks for asking. Yeah, they have. I mean, they're pretty much back. Even the Biltmore's open, so they're pretty much back, but their tourism is not, and that's part of why this particular part of Citizen, where they had this coffee shop and listening area, and that was not able to sustain, maintaining a lease. So they had to shut that aspect down. But the one, it really, the recording studio was really nice. I'll be doing a video on my visit, of course. But the one thing that was really unique to me is they developed something, and now I have a patent for something called vinyl key.
So
I don't know if anybody here has heard about it.
Okay.
Vinyl key, one word.
Oh.
It's a registered trademark. And so what is done here is the vinyl record is pressed with an embedded NFC tag. Near
field communication.
Near field communication, just like you get with your tap on your credit card and that, right? Not the chip, but the tap, right? And so it's embedded in here. And then when you use your phone to tap the record, you'll get I gotta put my thing on here. You'll get a thing come up.
Sure.
Then you tap on it. And then your Wi-Fi is slower than crap because I'm streaming.
This worked in the show prep, I promise you.
No, it works. So it gives you the record, shows you what it looks like, and it also shows you that it's pressing number 52 of 55.
Huh.
So authenticity, exactly where this was done and what number it came off of the press, because they log that after the record's pressed, because the first thing they do after they press it is they test that the NFC chip works.
Doesn't harvest
your data. No, it just goes to a unique, like a Bitcoin type of site And then it can have any kind of digital assets with it, like videos or other
so it makes
music
it like an immersive
or
experience.
whatever. Right.
Yeah.
Tells you about the thing. And then it shows, I don't know if you're going to be able to see that. It's really bright, but it shows that I'm the owner. That doesn't show very well, but I'm the owner of the record. So I claimed it. So if I sold this to somebody, they could claim it as the next owner, and it would show the history of who all had the record.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. So that's what it's about. These are limited edition and numbered, with registration.
So Richard has a question. As a cross-reference prices on Discogs and eBay, is that
links could be put into the page of where you would go for that. So I mean, that's another thing you could do. I mean, it's up to the artist or the management company or whoever's managing and owning that page that has that security in it to do that. But the sky's the limit. And the other thing that can happen is they can add things over time.
when you say add things, you mean like add media,
add media. They can say the next album by this guy's coming out. Check it out. Go to his website. So it can be very dynamic over time as well. So, but it is, it is a way to have unheralded authenticity of the pressing related to when it was pressed, where it was pressed, what pressing number it was. And that's, sometimes we always wonder about that, right?
And Arnaldo, do you have one of these things? I see you showing something.
No, actually, here's the building, I guess, David.
Yep.
Have a test pressing from Citizen Vinyl.
Okay.
Yeah, I just wanted to show that so that
sure, cool. That is exactly what the building is. Yeah,
the building. Yeah, it looks like an old newspaper spot.
Was the test pressing that I had gotten.
Gar Ragland. Yeah, that's the guy that I met with. Gar. Yeah. And if you're ever in Asheville, look them up and contact him. I mean, they'll give tours. I mean, they're really open. So, they had like 3 presses, not huge, not really, a high volume, but definitely, one where they're trying to, work with indie artists and they're trying to work right from the studio down to the pressing so that they record there and then they actually make the vinyl there as well. So it's kind of a, an in-house total experience for them. So anyway, so Citizen Vinyl, and look them up. And if you're ever in Nashville, just go on their website, citizenvinyl.com. Right. And I'll have a video coming out in a week or so on that.
Cool.
And then the other side I went to, which was well out, it used to be in Asheville. Now it's like northwest of Asheville, about a 40-minute drive, but it's like winding roads kind of in the hills. You're not going 60. So it's like 14 miles. It takes 35 minutes to get there. So, but it was American Vinyl, and their specialization is in cutting records real time. So on blanks. So there's no lacquer and stamping or anything.
So they record live recorded music?
Well, maybe it's live, maybe it's it's not, it's just that they are running the file, and as the file is streaming into this thing, it's cutting it.
Oh, it's cutting into the wax.
It's cutting it directly, right? Oh. Exactly.
Huh.
So it's usually smaller runs, more unique runs. They had one they were doing for ESPN, and it was for football teams.
Huh.
And it's
ESPN's had quite a week. I'll say that they've been so hot this week.
So it's like, we got an NDA and everything. They were laying out there, and they were all for the Kansas City Chiefs. And he's like, "We can't tell you who it is." And I'm going, too late.
Busted, David Bianco. You're here to spoil your lunch.
So they do have a room where they do cut lacquers as well for other people. So I also walk through that process with them. But they do their own. They have a machine where they actually print the covers and the gatefolds, and they showed me how they did all that. So it's really and the stuff sounded really good. I mean, in terms of sonic. So yeah, it was pretty interesting. So it's really a totally kind of different way of doing it, but there's a market for that. Bands want to get 100 for a live performance. They go to them. They'll sell them at the live performance, and they're unique, and maybe they're colored, maybe they're not. Whatever, the blanks determine that.
Sure.
Just different ways to serve the market.
Yeah, no, I like it. I like it. Not unrelated. Malaya's here. She asked, "What happened to your friend Brad that we met in Austin?" She says, "I'm gonna give Brad a shout. How's Brad doing?"
Yeah, Brad's doing really well. As a matter of fact, Brad and I went to see Brit Floyd Tuesday night. We had VIP passes. We got to.
Man, the VECE is bringing all the benefits. All the bennies are coming with this VECE membership. Unbelievable. Did you have a press pass? I know that's a move.
No, I didn't. I had a VIP. I got it through donating to a PBS station.
Oh no!
Yes,
dude, that's too soon. It's too soon.
Yeah,
too soon.
But it was a lot cheaper to get those through them than it was to buy them just buy them outright.
Sure.
Yeah. So it was really good. We got to get in there early. They did a sound check and played 2 songs that weren't in the set. And then they came out and signed anything you wanted. And we had really great seats. So if they're ever in town, they are accurate, man, and a great light show in that. But Brad's doing well. He's in Lubbock, and I say he comes here once in a while. So thanks for asking, Malia. He's doing well.
David, a question: Are they paying licensing for those images on that merch?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
What he didn't tell you was that a $60 T-shirt, David. Is that what it is? $60?
Yeah. Oh yeah. And they've even gotten written down on there, the copyright company that it goes through and all that. So I mean, they're legit, because they're even playing like the intros, like to Welcome to the Machine and that. It's right off the actual. So that's all licensed and cleared. Yeah, definitely legit. But their show is, you know what I mean? It's close your eyes, you wouldn't know.
I dig it.
And they had this cool dog with them that's their tour dog, and he had a fluorescent, like a lit collar. And during the song Dogs, he was roaming the stage.
I'm sorry to report, Paul is asking, we want bong. This is going to be a bong-free episode. The Bong Man is he's doing his civilian duties with his record label Aurora Central. So, Paul, if you want to sign off, I totally understand. I would recommend you stay. Also, hit the like button. But if you don't like that news, hit the dislike button. It's completely okay. David's got another shirt. David, how many shirts?
No, this is a bag. This is a.
Okay.
They signed a.
They
gave you some goodies. They gave us a poster. They gave us a DVD. The Pulse Live.
How the Better Half Lives VIP right here. Unbelievable.
Yeah. That's. See, it doesn't say press. It says pull. No. So anyway, but I didn't get that because of the channel or anything. I got it purely because I paid money.
Yeah. Listen. We need some more shilling. Come on, shill. It's all right. Own the shilling.
Now, the fact that I gave Damien, the lead guitarist, my card to set up an interview, that's different. I did do
that. That's his big slinging. That's all that is. We'll see you soon, Damien.
So anyway, that's the pressing plant story and the concert story, I guess. So.
No, I appreciate it. Appreciate you catching us up to speed.
Sure.
So let's move into the second segment of the presentation, and it's what we're calling vinyl archaeology. We call it vinyl paleontology, all kinds of stuff. And what I mean by this doesn't have to be vinyl; it's music more than anything else. Just talking about, I'm sure you're like us. You've listened to some music and you were inspired to learn more about the band or where they recorded this, etc. And you started pulling the threads and you learned something that sent you down a rabbit hole of learning more and more, right? Also kind of frame this as a did you know kind of presentation. And the emphasis, and Jason kind of talked on it earlier, Terry Reid passed away this week. Nice solo career, but I think a lot of people he's the answer to the trivia question, who is considered to be the first front man, was considered to be the first front man for Led Zeppelin, but he passed, and that was Terry Reid because he knew Jimmy Page, and then he couldn't do it because I think he was under a contractual obligation to Epic, his label at the time, and so he's the one who recommended Robert Plant and John Bonham because they were in a band together. So anyway, that's the spirit of this segment. I'm going to kick it off. Arnaldo, however you want to give it to me. Yeah, listen. We're getting the guys who have been gone. I want to lead off with you, and then we're going to throw it to Chris because I don't want him to come in too hot for a first show. I want him to work up a nice slow lather, and so I want you to be the table setter because Chris is going to bring the hammer. Arnaldo, let's be a good host.
Well, I kind of also took that, like your inspiration, and more did it on a this trivia kind of aspect.
Sure. Let's do it.
And I'm a big fan, I mentioned this before on the show, of the label 4AD, very popular in the 80s. And there was a collaborative effort of all the artists on 4AD, which was called This Mortal Coil. And their third album is called Blood. And the spirit was they were reinterpreting, they were doing all covers mostly. There were a couple of originals, but mostly all these artists like Cocteau Twins, Dead Can Dance, they were doing a lot of covers, most of which were, to me, very unknown. And I later learned of my ignorance by following the thread from some of these until, let's just say that I was unaware of who Gene Clark was, and I've only discovered.
What?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Wow.
Oh, Arnaldo. Good God. What's wrong
I've
with
only learned about him in the last 4 or 5 years, maybe. And when I bought this album, I realized as I was listening to it that I
What's the name of the album? Is it self-titled?
This is called White Light.
Okay.
And as I was listening to it, one of the songs that came up, where is it? Oh gosh. Yeah. It's With Tomorrow. And I said, I know this song. And it's actually included on This Mortal Coil. So that is, yeah, one of them. And then You and Your Sister, I forgot who that's a cover by Jason Left. I'm sure he knows that. That's more trivia for us to investigate.
Sure. There you go.
Yeah, but a lot of these compilations that are redoing covers, sometimes when you have the and it works both ways. Yes, there are Big Star. I think
Alex from Beer and Vinyl asked if there's some Big Star covers
on the I think the first album may have I Am the Cosmos on here. On this one, there's I Am the Cosmos, which I didn't know is really, I think technically it's a Chris Bell song, and Chris Bell, if I'm not mistaken, was on Big Star. Yeah, there you go. See, okay, we got it. So as I was saying, sometimes it works both ways. You have these famous artists that are doing songs that are lesser known songs that lead you to other artists to investigate who's the original singer or writer of that song. And the other way around, I've bought tribute albums of smaller indie labels, like tribute to, I don't know, David Bowie or various other ones. No, I think Tim Buckley is on the first one, Song to the Siren. Yeah, the Cocteau Twins do that one, Mazzy. But he may be on this one too, I'm not sure. But yeah, and sometimes on the tribute albums, you discover groups that are singing, they're doing a cover that you didn't know about. So kind of works both ways.
I like it. And that's the spirit. And that's one reason I like collecting records and music in general, is because you don't know the path is whatever you make of it. And you learn a lot. You're always learning. It's one of the things that...
Jason, you stepped away. It escapes me. You and Your Sister on this album. Who is it by?
That's Chris Bell.
It
Big
is
Star.
Okay. Because they did another, or was it I Am the Cosmos? That's Chris Bell too?
Yes.
But You and Your Sister is Big Star or just Chris Bell?
Chris Bell.
Okay.
But I mean, Alex Chilton sings the harmony on it.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know any of them until I bought this album.
I like it. All right. Well, way to warm it up, Arnaldo. Now, this is the moment everyone's been waiting for. And I got to give you... Boom. Pomp and circumstance. The man is here. Depeche Commode, live in full effect. Let's do some vinyl archaeologies or some CD vinyl archaeology, however you want to do it, my friend. What's something that you can educate us on, or something that you educated yourself on through just immersing yourself in the music?
Okay, so as you can tell from my background, I'm a vinyl and CD guy.
CDs are back, so we're not going to have anyone in the comments shame Depeche Commode, or you'll have to get a bruising. I'm just saying it.
And yeah, it does wonders for your checking account too when you're in both formats. Okay, so also I'm a big metal guy too, especially underground metal and extreme metal. That's a large majority of my collection, and CD mastering is just as much of a controversial topic as vinyl mastering.
Sure.
And there's an album here. This is like considered a historic Swedish death metal album from the 90s by a band called Dismember, Like an Ever-Flowing Stream. And
CD and vinyl, Chris? Look at that.
I a lot of times I buy both formats.
Attaboy.
And now here's the thing about the CD and also the Swedish death metal sound from the 90s. This is an authentic OG first press, and there were 3 different masters for the first press, and the way that you could tell what the first press is by the CD matrix. The dates of the master or the pressing are in the CD matrix, and this is called an 0691. So it was June of 1991 when.
So it's like a production, like.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah. So there were 3 masters for this: the 0691, a 0991, and then I think a 1291. And the thing about the Swedish death metal sound is it's very much known for the HM2 sound, which is the HM2 is an effects pedal used in a lot of metal that's like really crunchy and adds a lot of distortion. And so Swedish death metal for that time really known about the HM2 sound, but it's also the first genre of metal where I learned what brick walling is.
Brick walling. So what is brick walling?
Brick walling is loudness wars, where the music is just really compressed and loud, and it lacks dynamic range.
Oh man.
And the thing about the 0691, this was one of the first albums of that movement. This is the full dynamic range master. And this is what's considered the desirable audiophile master, what we all wanted. Then the 0991 was the one where they really started to brick wall it, and then the 1291 is just like no dynamic range at all. It's just loudness war, just destroying your eardrums, which I don't like. And so yeah, the 0691, I've had this for a while. They just recently reissued this one, and what's annoying about metal labels in general is that they think that their consumers only care about colored vinyl and t-shirts. There's not like metal labels don't talk about mastering engineers or anything like that. It's really unfortunate. But when Nuclear Blast just reissued this on vinyl last year, they even have on here that it's the June of 1991 master that was used for this. It's just a CD that was used as the source for the vinyl pressing.
So fans must really clamor for that particular version, or otherwise they wouldn't call it out on a hype sticker, right?
The most metal consumers don't even know what that means, really.
Oh, okay.
It's unfortunately it's not like an audiophile genre of metal or of music, but yeah, the ones who do know want the 0691 pressing, but it's also a disappointment too that it's like, okay, this was just a CD used for the source for the vinyl, which is unfortunately pretty common with metal reissues.
Okay.
But they even have it on the hype sticker. which I think is a little lousy. It's like, go back to the tapes or something. Don't just
Right.
brag that you just used a CD to
But at least they're being honest, unlike many others that just use the CD.
Yeah.
Oh no, we can't be controversial on your first show back, Arnaldo. I'm telling you. I like
So
it.
did they release the CDs like at different times?
Yeah. So, well, the original, the 3 different masters for this one in 1991,
Okay.
it was 3 different pressings that are considered the first press, but this is the true OG, the true first press, the full dynamic range.
So there was already like a scene of people trying, they'd get the CD and they go, it sounds like crap. And then another person saying, mine sounds good, right? And then they would have to read that number, right, inside the CD, right, to get to know it. Yes? No?
And how would they communicate this? Is this like an internet age kind of thing? Because I'm having a hard time thinking that like this was common knowledge back in '91.
Yeah. Back in '91, nobody knew what any of that would have meant. But when there were other bands like Entombed, who are another big band of that whole, death metal scene, and again, HM2 effects pedal, brick-walled music that just made the sound really crunchy and loud, and that was the sound that everybody liked back then. And so
Nice. That was a very informative and very detailed. I like it. So, Malaya, if you ever say we don't talk metal on this program, Pesh Komodo right here is going to say wrong. We did it. I like it. All right, Rojas.
No, don't go with me. Let me go get the album.
Oh my goodness, I'll go because I see David, who would have been next after. So, I was listening to a podcast about samples, and when I say samples, like samples from music used to make like hip hop and that sort of thing. And they were talking about something that Run the Jewels had done for a song on the Baby Driver soundtrack. And I didn't know, I knew the song, I knew Baby Driver, I knew Edgar Wright directed it, et cetera, but I wasn't really clear. And it really kind of spelled out the origins of how they put the song together. And as they were dissecting it, it kind of turned me on to it. I'm going to go explore where a lot of the root material was. And it was from this band. This is the John Spencer Blues Explosion 1994 album Orange. And the song, if I haven't frozen, there we go. It froze for a second. The song is called Bell Bottoms. It's literally the first song on side A. And when I started streaming this album, because you stream it before you buy it, folks, I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I wasn't very familiar. I'd heard of the band, but it wasn't. I never heard anything on radio, right? I never heard anything that was something to try it. And this album puts any kind of black keys or any kind of White Stripes stuff. Not every White Stripes thing, but this is right up there. This is like gritty, it's funky, gnarly guitar activity. They even do like this little Elvis homage in the Bell Bottom song. That is fantastic. So for me, just listening to them talking about dissecting a song I was already familiar with, the Run the Jewels track, led me to this. And anyway, when I was in Denver, it was on my want list. When I was in Denver recently, found a copy of Twist and Shout because, hashtag only originals. And I'm so happy. This one had been well loved, but I gave it Novice Nick is here. I gave it the treatment, the vinyl treatment, the lavender bath, the scented candles, turned off all the lights, and it sounds like a champ. So John Spencer Blues Explosion Orange. Check it out, folks. You'll be better for it. All right, Bianco.
Okay, so sometimes you recall a story after time and your bells start ringing. And so when I was doing the shootout of this album, Dreamboat Annie by Heart, when the MoFi came out, which was really a mess on side one, I'm going to reiterate.
Oh, no, not MoFi.
Other reviewers have said the same thing. So
okay, all right.
I think there's something to be said. But anyway, everybody realizes this. This is Heart's first album, and everybody thinks their second album, of course, is Little Queen. On Portrait Records, they moved from Mushroom to Portrait. But the truth is, their second album was really this particular album, Magazine. And what happened was they started to record this for Mushroom, got about 5 songs in. Mushroom released an ad on their success of the first album in a salacious kind of looking ad, and showed the girls with their shoulders exposed and talked about the fact that they had been so successful, and they wrote under it, "It was only our first time." And the band, they really didn't, the girls said, "We didn't approve that. We don't like that. Pull it." And Mushroom and them got into a dispute. And so they never approved releasing the 5 recorded songs. Mushroom went ahead and did that. They only made like 50,000 pressings, but a lot of them got destroyed because of a legal battle. And then this got reissued in 78 officially with more songs added. So if you have a Heart magazine that has only 5 tracks on it, that's a rare one.
I was going to ask, what label ultimately put that out? Was that...
well, mine, it shows Mushroom, but it's called Sparty because that was the EU one, because mine's an EU one.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So they still had some rights to 5 of the songs, but then they went and re-recorded over some of those and then added more for the official release. This is on Arista Records officially, is where they copyrighted it through.
Got it. So you're saying that if you can find the 5-track EP, it's where the money.
They didn't call it that, but yeah, if you could find one that only has 5 tracks on it, that's a rare one.
Dig it.
Very rare one.
Good stuff, David. I like it. Thank you, sir. Now, you got to come correct, Jason, because we had to reshuffle the order, and so I know there's the Terry Reid Fest. I know Michael Tender was asking where the Terry Reid tribute is. It's right there on the wall. I mean, and you must have been late to the program because we just saw the most masculine album cover in the history of album covers earlier from Terry Reid. So,
right, Jason, when you're in doubt, just choose Rogue Waves. This one, just
that looks like a Time Life cover. Like,
let me show it again.
Let's show it again. Like, I can see them doing the ad saying, "You wanted the best of the '70s? We've got it right here. Rogue Waves, Terry Reid."
Right. So Terry, he looks like an extra from Star Wars. I hate to say it, man. But like the record isn't bad actually. But I mean, if you saw this at your record store, it would be questionable, right?
Well, let me ask this: can you grab the record that was next to it too, the white cover album? Like these two. If you put, who is the art director guiding him? Because the other album covers are at least just like there's face, there he is playing a guitar.
Now,
this is like a Glamour Shots reject. Like, this is like, who did this? This is what they hand out at the funeral. Like, that's a funeral shot. This is terrible.
I mean, this is actually his best record. I mean,
I'm sure the music's great, but that album cover is snooze fest.
Seed of Memory, produced by Graham Nash, right? So this was like the one that was supposed to take him to the next level. I mean, if you thought the white cover, right? Yes, definitely. Then you get the black cover, right?
Ooh, all right. Now it's turning it back to me. I like the duality of it.
Like,
that actually is the photo they used at the funeral. Why'd you say that?
Oh, jeez. I mean, has anyone on the panel, are you familiar with this record, Seed of Memory?
I'm not familiar with that one. Like I said, I only have the first 2 Terry Reid records.
I've heard it.
It's great. This one.
Long ago, but yes.
When I saw him live 10 years ago, he opened up with the first song, Faith to Arise. It blew me away. And the thing is, I saw him in 2006. So I had forgotten. Like, he was playing South by Southwest when my band was in Austin. And I went to a showcase, and he was there with a jazz piano player and an acoustic guitar. And it was so bad. I don't know. I didn't do enough drugs to get away from that,
Now this is what we call a savage take. This is the record keeper 33 RPN says that looks like a cover for a comedy record. I wonder what he'd give him that idea.
Well, I'm pretty sure Terry can take a joke. Most people in the VC can, but Terry,
We can now.
well, yes.
Anyway, all right. So let's go back to the matter at hand. Sorry, there's the Terry Reed tribute for all those asking. But let's talk about vinyl archaeology. What's something that it started a fire? Because you know a lot of stuff. You know a lot of music. Something that stumped you that you really sent you on a deep dive to learn more.
Well, actually, it's sort of so Depeche Mode, he kind of stole my thunder, but that's okay. I didn't know, he's going to throw some. So I started with, records and CDs back in the 90s. Now, I thought back in the 90s that these things sounded the same. You would think that the technology, yeah.
That is not Christy McNichol on the album cover. That's not, again, we don't want to start any rumors. We call that false news.
The thing is, I've discovered now, it's like revisiting, because when I bought Birds CDs and then I checked out the Birds album from the library, none of this sounded the same. Actually, the stereo image was opposite. And you couldn't, back in that time period, who would you talk to about that? You're not going to talk to the librarian. Why do these sound different? And they're like, just get away from me. I need to check this out,
I just need to get to my smoke break. I know how librarians were.
So I would ask, these old, bitter record guys, I bring the CD and I'd be like, why is this, sound different? And then I'd be holding that record, like a Birds record. And they were just, like, oh man, wow, you're asking this question. I must have been, 15, 16, right? Okay. So that was the whole slow process to move away from CDs and then to records. Now, we'll go to the present, right? So now I'm doing these record shootouts, and I was curious, right? How would the CD sound compared to the record? Right? So I'm coming back full circle, right, after all this time. So and I've mentioned this before, finding CDs is now harder than the records. I went to a Half Price Books. I went to Waterloo. Went to 2 other record stores. I wasn't the only one in the CD section. There were young people there looking for a deal.
Listen, my local thrift store used to be plentiful with CDs. Not anymore. The CD racks are next to empty. It's unbelievable what's happening right now.
So now I'm going to show something that just blew my mind, and this will be the next one of the next shootout videos. I thought Green Day Dookie, the original 94 CD. Now, this is for Cesar. Guess who's in it, right? They did not throw down this, the Ernie is there.
The Ernie is there. Important.
Right? They weren't going to throw him away. So this is the thing. I compared the original 94 CD to the original 94 album.
Uh-oh. And, hang on. We don't want to spoil it. We don't want to spoil it.
I had a friend here, this past week, and we, listened to a bunch of stuff, and he was shocked. He was shook.
So the question is Jason comparing records to the CDs or CDs to repress records? These are both originals, right?
Yes, both originals.
And your friend was shocked. What a tease. That is what we call the deep tease, to go to the Jason Rojas channel and see how this turned out. Will people be surprised?
Yes, it actually gets worse. I kept on going.
Oh, but that Black Crowes, that's compressed on that vinyl.
Well, I did the video of this,
okay,
which was shocking, they didn't sound the same.
Yeah, that's Southern Harmony, blah, 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 blah. I'm terrible to name.
So I went full circle with this. It's horrible, actually.
Is it possible that during that time when CDs were starting to take over the market, or by that time in early 90s had already taken over the market from vinyl, that they were only mastering once and they were just doing the CD? They were prioritizing mastering the CD, and the same master, they were also then trying to do the vinyl with it.
Well, I think it was 2 different masterings.
You think? I don't know.
Oh, no, it is. It is. As Depeche Mode has said, they kept on doing different masterings. I don't really understand it. For me to go down that rabbit hole is something I...
No. Well, what I meant is, when those albums were released simultaneously on
Yes.
CD and album,
Correct.
did they use the same master, which at the time was the CD master, because they were pushing the CD, they were putting more importance on
Yeah, the
CD.
vinyl was the more novelty. It was more of a like little
That's what my
niche.
question is that possibly the reason why? Because it wasn't specifically mastered for vinyl. They were just using the master for the CD and cutting the vinyl with it as well, knowing that the two formats have different.
No, they're different. Like as soon
they
as
are,
you,
aren't
yeah, as soon as you hear this one, the Jayhawks, this one, like this is one of my favorite records.
But the
Tomorrow
mix
We're
is
Gonna
the same.
Yeah.
Let's get back to
Yes.
that piece
Yes.
of the topic.
I
Okay,
would
the
say
mix-
yes, but
Okay.
the mastering is different, like way different, you know? Which makes me realize, like, if you didn't get this, right, in 90, 94, 95, this record, and you were raised on this, and then I played you this, you would think something was wild here, like this perspective, you know? But then who cares? Like, if you're streaming, you don't give a shit about this. So.
Sure. So I know Robert Fitton is a big advocate of saying that 90s albums, you're wasting your time because the CDs was where the focus is. As you've been going down this rabbit hole, are you of the shared opinion, or do you think it's a case by case?
It's a case by case because I know this band cared, you know.
Yeah.
This actually beat the CD.
Boom. You heard it here first, folks. Discogs prices just went up 13%. I'm keeping track, so that
Oh no.
that's what we call influencers. I like it. That's cool. That's a good take. I like it. All right. Well, we're right up almost an hour. Do we want to go with the last topic and we'll run a little over and then we'll go freestyle? Is everybody we got a little bit more room to go. Let's go with topic numero 3. Wow. Oh. So, you know, we like to kid around. I know, you know, record collecting and music collecting is serious business. But sometimes you just want to have fun. It's like girls want to have fun. Record collectors want to have fun too. The spirit of this is what we call, how would you grade this? You hear us talk about there needs to be a coming to the masses moment of everyone just agreeing on proper grading nomenclature. And unfortunately, it's going the opposite direction. People are coming up with their own terms. They're adding about 14 plus signs to certain grades. It's just chaos. So I've asked everybody to pull something to just share. I want to hear in the comments in the gallery, because this is an interactive program. We'll go around the dais, show something, kind of talk about the obvious misses, marks, etc., and then ask collectively what you think the proper grading of this would be. So, David, we'll start with you on this one. Kick it off with how would you grade this? Show us something, and then we'll give you our unsolicited advice.
Well, let me say first of all that, you know, there is a grading standard.
There's a standard. You're right. You're right. Gold
There
mine
is a
is the standard. It's just become bastardized. I think.
But I've always said the great thing about standards is there's so many to choose from. So, you know, that's how I see the world, you know. But
Sure.
but for me, what I go by, you know, there's two things that matter. One is visual grading and play grading.
Thank you.
And those are two huge differences. So the first thing I always ask is this a visual grading or a play grading? And the reason is I've seen visuals that look awful that sound great. And I've seen visuals that look great and sound awful.
Right.
And as far as I'm concerned, it's the listening that really matters. Right?
Yep.
How about on a record you see a scuff or maybe even what you might even call a scratch, but you can't hear it at all?
Sure.
For example, right? And then there's spots where you hear something and you can't even see what it is, right? So right out of the gate, that to me is one of the more important differentiators in there. So for me, this was a record I picked up in Asheville at Static Age Records, a really good store.
So you're holding the Doors self-titled. Yeah.
Doors self-titled. And this is a first press Monarch mono, which is supposedly the GOAT, the greatest of all time, supposedly. Now, I looked at the record and I said, yeah, this looks pretty clean. I had him play it and I said, in spots, especially quiet spots, and I said, this sounds pretty clean. The only issue with it is it has a UK cover.
Oh, the Frankenstein.
Yeah. But it doesn't really look any different, but it's a US record.
This is
I'm figuring I could find a US cover with a trashed record pretty easily. It doesn't have to be a Monarch. You don't know what it is based on the cover. So the guy priced it at $67 because of that mismatch. But, he could have had it in no sleeve in this condition. I probably would have bought it for $67.
Sure.
So it's, for me, it's and that told me a lot about the store's approach to pricing and how they did things, which fell across the board in the other things that I looked at. So, I think those are the kind of things that we need to ask and clarify. And it's especially important when you buy sight unseen. Have you played it? Well, if it's a $20 record, no, people, I get that. But I know people who've spent hundreds of dollars for a record and been disappointed when someone says it's VG plus or near mint minus and it's popping and crackling and tickling and everything.
Tickling, yeah.
The other thing is, does the person know the provenance of the ownership? If it's my record and I owned it all its life, I can tell you a lot more about it than if I bought something somebody else owned, right? Because, I don't know. So it really bugs me when people sell used stuff that's somebody else's and they say like near mint minus, and it's like.
So before we weigh in here, how would you describe, like looking at the vinyl? Were there any marks? How would you visually grade it?
I would say it was a VG plus visual grading.
Okay.
Yeah.
So knowing all this, so the visual grade looked like the vinyl was good and clean. Mismatch cover is an EU cover with the US Monarch. Arnaldo, what would you give that? How would you grade that if you were acquiring it?
The fact that it was Frankenstein should have been disclosed somewhere.
And it was.
Okay.
It was. Okay.
It was on a sticker, right? It was on a sticker right there.
So there's honesty there. So you said it was the vinyl was a VG?
VG plus.
Oh, VG plus. Okay.
Yeah.
Were there any noticeable scratches on it?
No.
Okay. So that passes the test, right?
Yep, I think so.
Yeah. And then he played it to boot, which was,
that's even better.
Yeah.
But I wanted to throw another wrench in it.
Oh,
yeah.
no.
So you talked about the visual grading and the play grading.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let's take a bit further where the record is free of any defects, like visual defects. But when you play it, it has more of a background noise or surface noise that is inherent to a bad pressing plant.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't skip. There are no scratches. There are no scuffs. It's not warped. It's just a bad pressing. What is that? Is that a VG plus? It could be theoretically just out of and we have so many new records that sound like crap, right? So are you going to downgrade it because there's a pressing plant defect or bad quality vinyl and say it's VG? Or should you still call it near mint because you just took it out of the shrink and you're playing it for the first time and you only played it once and there's no scuffs and there's no scratches, right? What do you consider that? Are you going to be honest and say plays with a lot of surface noise? It's really not the condition of the record. It's just a bad pressing.
It's not the visual condition of the record.
A record like that from Amazon, it goes right back.
Yeah.
And I get another one. So
yeah, and that's why
fine.
The grading system is visual. I mean, the
know, I
grading
understand.
system from
But when
Goldmine is purely visual.
playability, when you're play grading it, and it's really not sounding like a near mint, not because it was well loved or mishandled, but it's a bad pressing. Now, should you have to disclose, and how do you disclose that it's a bad pressing? There's no manhandling or wear and tear on the record that you would say, oh, it's a G because it has pops, clicks, or it skips, even though it doesn't have any scratches, right? You can still say it has groove wear. I bought a record that visually, and we'll talk about it later, was a near mint. There's nothing on there. You go and play it. It's a record from the 60s, and who knows where it got played, that all you hear is the groove noise, right? That's different. That's wear and tear. But something that is brand new that just doesn't play well because it's a bad quality pressing, how do you grade that?
Well, if you've stated that you're doing a play grade, that's part of it too. I ask about play. If I'm buying one that I haven't seen, have you played it? What's your play grade of it? If the person doesn't know, then I ask about their return policy.
I mean, my answer to your question, Arnaldo, is it's I would grade, like, let's say your example, you took it out of the jacket, first play, it's got those issues, it's a pressing defect. I'm grading it on the visual, and I always any kind of first open, this is just me, I always automatically take it to VG plus, always. But I'll read up on it, and if it's a pressing defect seems to be common on the Discogs reviews or what have you, I won't downgrade for that because you can't control that.
Like the animals pressing from a few years ago, they were all defective. I went through 4 copies. Mm-hmm. They all at the beginning, they all sounded terrible because of, I think they had paper rub or whatever, however they were shipping it. It caused pretty much every copy to be playing noisy at the beginning. So
perfect example. So when Arnaldo was out of town, I asked him to look for a Labby Cifre record, Remember My Name. It's a very collectible record in hip hop and etc. And there's a track on the first pressing, the UK first pressing, called The Vulture. And more often than not, you can read it on the Discogs listing. There's a pressing defect. It skips in one revolution or maybe 2. But that's just what it is. You can't avoid that. It's like they're made, they're out there, they're still collectible, they're still expensive. I would not downgrade if I got a copy, if and when, hopefully sooner than later. If it plays outside of that, great, and it's visually looks good, I would have no problem calling VG plus, because I think that's the commonality of that pressing issue. Just like the Van Halen Walmart self-titled record from years ago, Janie's Crying had that skip. Everyone had it. I can't downgrade that because they, brought it to market in a shitty pressing condition. To me, it's a VG plus. Like, I can't. So it's a good question. What do you think, Chris? Guest Chris, what do you think?
Yeah. So I was kind of spacing out a bit, honestly, during your rant. But yeah, I've bought records before too, where visually you're like, oh, this is the chef's kiss, but then you play it and it's noisy. I have the first Black Sabbath album. I have a NEMS pressing that I bought. I think it's like an early 70s pressing. It still had the extra song on it that was taken off later on. And it's disappointing because there are times where the low end kind of cuts out when you're playing it. But then you can hear groove noise as well in it. But yeah, it's it is what it is. I guess.
Yeah, you can't change it. The time machine's broken, so you're kind of stuck.
Unfortunately, that's why I like CDs. You really don't run into this problem with CDs with like paper scuffing and stuff like that.
CDs are back. I'm telling you, no one's
unless you buy the Lord CD.
Oh, the Lord CD is jacked up.
Oh, that was.
That's Isn't that the one that's the transparent?
The transparent
CD?
one,
And
yeah.
they're running into issues.
It's not playing on all. It's not playing on all the players.
Yeah.
All the CD players.
That tells me they got too cute with it. They just they really want to be really neat, and they didn't even think about the end result of doesn't even sound right. Wow, that's hilarious. I dig it. All right, well, Mr. Rojas. Well, we didn't even go around. Let's go around real quick. How would you? So David walked us through it. I would call that VG plus vinyl. I'd call that a VG cover only because it's a switcho. If it was the if it was true, which sounds David can Frankenstein it the proper way, VG plus or however you find the cover. But because it's not an original cover, I would grade VG. Arnaldo, what would you say?
Well, you're grading the cover. There's it's disclosed there that it's the wrong cover.
Sure, but if you're
looking at the cover,
it's not the true item. It's not 100% the true item. So I have to, just on a technicality, downgrade it.
Well, then why not a G? Or why not a F? Because it doesn't belong. It got Frankenstein.
That's fair.
Right?
That's fair take.
I mean, it's not the condition of it is VG plus.
Zero.
I mean,
It's a 0 because it's not the right cover.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
If you're looking at
right.
the collectability of the artifact, it's a 0 because you only have the vinyl. Sorry to burst your bubble, David, but you.
No, I mean, Arnaldo's right. You need to think about it this way. If I was selling that as a UK pressing, right? I have the UK cover, but the wrong record, right? So then higher grade for the cover. Do you understand the UK cover? Lower grade for the record. Now, I'll do the opposite, right? Which is what David has, right? He has a US pressing record, but a UK cover, right? So the person is trying to sell it as a US copy. Do you see what I'm saying? So
that's the value in it. It's the Monarch first press.
Right, exactly.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah.
So then I would actually I would say what VG plus for the record, poor, fair for the cover.
But
because it's the wrong cover.
If the cover is in perfect condition, isn't that kind of like
no. You're still missing what I'm trying to say.
I know, I get it, but right.
All right. Well, Arnaldo, do you have one? We'll go a little bit quicker on this.
Yeah,
one.
I'll go quicker. So on my travels, I picked up, like earlier I mentioned, a record that I had bought based on a visual grading, and it was a Sgt. Pepper Mono UK, and bring it home, clean it, and I play it, and there's just a lot of crackling as background, like to the point when you get to She's Leaving Town, you could hear more of the crackle than you could hear
Leaving home.
the music and the strings. So my quest was to find a UK Pepper Mono, and I did find one.
Hey.
And, I bought it for the record because the place where I bought it, Flashback, they had listening stations, and the cover that I have from the previous version is in much better condition than this. So my plan is to do a Frankenstein, and yeah, it sounds fantastic. Even when I played it there, it sounded fantastic. But I wanted to show you how meticulous this store is when they grade their records. So I don't know if you could see it.
Oh, Cesar is gonna love this. Look at all. Oh my gosh, they have the runout numbers.
Yeah, he has. I'll read it to you.
So this is on the sticker for the visually impaired. This is on the sticker.
Basically, you didn't even have to take it out, right?
Brilliant.
This is the mono copy, VG strong, and I would go as far as saying it's a VG plus.
Okay.
So very conservative there. Insert, because the Sgt. Pepper comes with an insert, which I'll show you here. And we can open another topic, and it says that the insert, which is the psychedelic insert, is split and stained, and that is correct. It has a split here, which you can probably see, and it has a little bit of a water stain down here. So that's how meticulous these people are.
I can't believe you brought that home. That's terrible.
Well, no, because I have the pristine one from the other copy. So
attaboy.
Eventually this will be traded in somewhere. But let's open up the topic where what happens in a case like this? So you can only grade the vinyl and the cover based on most of the Discogs platforms, right? This is an important piece of the artifact. Should you downgrade the cover because the insert has a stain and a seam?
It's not a cover. That's not the definition of what a cover is.
I totally get it, but if you were to buy a Pepper UK mono, don't you want it to be perfect, or is it just me?
Well, I mean, it'd be perfect if it had a U.S. pressing album cover.
So,
Yeah,
and then
the point's taken. Yeah, I always look at the inner
and then
sleeve.
it goes as far as saying that there's cutouts. This album, for those who didn't know, came with the Sgt. Pepper cutouts, and they're in perfect condition.
That's an insert.
Well, technically they're cutouts too. I don't know whoever cut them out, but and then it says, oh, it has even the matrix numbers. I don't know if you could see it, the last couple of digits there. So this place is extremely meticulous.
I like that.
They take grading very seriously, and they do the same. I also got from there the -2-1 of the Abbey Road, and they also were very meticulous down here, and claiming that it had the Her Majesty credit, which is on the label but not on the back cover. It has a -2-1, which everyone looks for. Yeah, they're pretty serious. So
let me ask you this while you were talking about that: are you comfortable paying more because of this degree of detail, so you don't have to do all the legwork yourself?
Oh, I'm still gonna pull it out and listen to it if I'm at the store, right?
All right. But if they have it and you say you want to buy it, right?
Yeah.
Since they've already done all the like intrinsic detective work, are you comfortable paying up a little bit more just because of that degree of disclosure?
Well, not so much the fact, because I could tell from that they're very serious about grading. So it was more of a formality for me to listen to it because I could already tell that they were very meticulous by the stickers, and playing it only just confirmed that, yeah, they were pretty reputable.
We getting some interesting takes from the gallery. Our friend Dom, Seeking a Thread, says it should be noted, but doesn't affect the grading. Talking about
what is the inner sleeve?
Yeah. Whereas Mazzy says you need that inner sleeve.
See what Mazzy understands that.
But then Mazzy's mortal foil, Tom, says the inner sleeve does not get graded. So it's interesting. Even in the matter of this conversation, there's varying perspectives.
Okay, so in the case that you have the White Album and the photos are missing, or the poster's torn, that we're talking about the collectibility of the art.
It should be noted.
It should be noted somewhere,
but it isn't.
All I can say is what I would do. If it's missing the full package, whatever the insert or the Ozzy's ashes or whatever the hell is supposed to be in it.
Some people refer to it as the guts.
The guts, the vinyl guts. I downgraded, but I probably downgraded on the cover because I think if you're talking about the vinyl and the listening piece, like I think like David said, like that's a lot of people, you hear that old expression, you can't play the cover, right? Like I think if you're talking about missing anything, you got 3 of the 4 photos from the White Album.
That's the stunty grading. You can't play the cover. So if the cover's trashed, it's still a VG plus.
You need a cover. He's got a shopping bag on it. You know what I mean? But point being is that the record has. I think the record grading has to be the true in this case, and you downgrade it if it's missing something. But I think everyone's pretty consistent, regardless of where you shake out on it. So you got to disclose it. Hang on. We've got VMGs here. This is probably. This is probably Drew. Drew, is this you? Says we mark the label with a note that says inners included, but do not affect the grade. So there's a grading organization. Good to see it, Drew. I think it's Drew, or if it's Paul or Chad, tell us.
That's correct. That's
So,
correct.
And hang on. Now Tom's getting technical. He says this is direct from Discogs, so you know it's right. If the inner sleeve or insert is not mentioned in the free text of an ad, it is assumed to be not included.
Okay. Oh, interesting. I see more of the opposite.
That's a 180. Yeah,
they're saying poster not included or inners not included.
Welcome, Drew. Let me give you we're going to give you a wrench, Drew, because you're friend of the show.
You know, it is kind of contradicting though that Discogs would have that, because people go to the trouble of putting up the listing, and they go into all the detail of the matrix, the run out, the catalog number, and also to include details about printing sometimes to distinguish one copy or one version from another, put photos of posters and all that stuff. So if you're listing an item under that listing, the assumption for me is that you are listing everything that is in that, correct or not?
I always assume the worst, hope for the best.
I think disclosing that it's missing is more the disclaimer than assuming that it's not included and have to say that the poster is included, for example.
So here's a great point. The doctor is here. The doctor is making house calls. Dr. Johnny Fever says you also pay for shrink and a hype sticker, and that's not graded. So that does throw a wrinkle into things. I don't disagree with that.
The only mention, just for technicality here, the only mention in the grading of gold mine is related to a record that if it has any surface noise, you can't mark it as mint or near mint if it knowingly has surface noise.
Well, to break the tie, and to make sure he's not falling asleep on us, Chris, I'm going to pass it to you. Show us.
Oh, poor Chris.
Yeah, Chris, we're really getting granular in this one. I'm sorry we brought you on this one, but show us something that you want to throw in front of our Technicolor glasses. How would you grade it? Do you have something to show us?
Okay, so here's how about a box set?
Let's do it. There we go. I like it.
Okay, so this is a box set that I bought in, I think, 2008 or sometime around that, and it's of the Stone Roses first album. Which
Rojas, you have this one, don't you?
No, does it sound good?
This is a it's the full album, one LP, and then it's 4 CDs, and then also a DVD. And the thing about this, and then it also came with a book and some art prints and things like that. Which I think this is an incredible album. It's a perfect album in my opinion. But it also came with a USB stick. That, keeping in mind.
Jose? Where's Jose? Jose's smiling somewhere. That's his favorite part, is the USB stick, the thumb drive.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It came with a thumb drive that had like this rubber lemon on it, and then on the thumb drive was the full album in 320K MP3s. We're talking hi-fi here.
Smoking.
Yeah. And
180.
I've never played the vinyl. I've listened to the CD, but at some point in time I lost the USB stick.
Oh,
dun, dun, dun.
And
no.
I know everything else is. I mean, I even still have the shrink on it, and I'm not a fan of keeping shrink on stuff at all.
I'm out of practice.
But losing a tchotchke like the USB stick, how does that impact the value of?
Oh, Arnaldo, I got to start with you because you are our most fervent grading expert. What would you say how would you grade this situation? Everything else sounds gem nice. No USB stick.
It should just be disclosed. I mean,
yeah.
Okay.
You can't.
I propose a new grade, VG ?
We've done it. We've broken new ground.
I don't think how many parts are in that box?
This thing, it's
and I also want to give Chris high marks. He kept the shrink on the box with the scan sticker, so I like it.
So it's got like 5 records.
Oh, this is crazy. No, it's only no wait. I'm sorry. How many records is it? The packaging is insane on this thing.
Looks like you have like 6 records, 5 or 6 plus.
Okay, so the CDs and the DVD go right here. Now I have the CD of the the album itself is in my over there because I was listening to it recently. And then how many? Okay, so the what's this? The handwork I'm putting this together must be crazy. Okay, so this is the booklet, and then another thing too that always irritates me, and I hate it when I see people do this. There are people who don't handle inner sleeves or booklets with care. Like they'll just grab it and just like open it up. You know, they don't like hold it, you know, in a way that would prevent any fingerprints or any you know, any damage to the stock. So there's that. Okay, the booklet right there. And then okay, so here's okay, this is the album. Okay, extras, and then extras number 2. And then these are art prints right there. And then this is more art prints.
It doesn't matter. The USB stick is missing.
I mean, the USB stick of the 320K MP3.
Sorry, yes.
But you said it was shaped as a lemon, right?
It had. Yeah, it wasn't just like some USB thumb drive that you got, you know, for a keychain.
Yeah. Right.
It's so the coolness of the look.
It had a rubber lemon on it, and but I lost it. And
can you imagine like going to like a public place, you put that in, someone's like, I've never seen a lemon USB stick before. Hey, look over there, right? Done.
A pet that might have got that, Chris?
Oh, I wouldn't even know when I would have lost it or how it happened. So, I mean, you know, probably just one night I was high and
just drop it in your
somewhere.
Okay, it's okay. Listen, it's a safe space, Chris. You tried to smoke it.
You squeezed the data right out of it into your tea. I know what you did.
Yeah.
There's no high like a 320 megabit high. I just take your experience on that one.
Oh, that's a great story though, Chris.
I like the story. Listen, I'm gonna be a vinyl pure. I'm gonna go VG plus, and you just close it.
I don't think it should impact the grading, but
it'll affect the price.
It affects the price significantly. Unless, hold on one second.
Oh no, Arnaldo's really he's gonna really check us on this one.
Or how about
unless we Frankenstein it with my USB of the Guns N' Roses box set.
Oh, what?
Is that higher than 320? Just
I don't remember, but it probably is.
Oh, it's got to be at least 360, at least.
These guys, when they did
MP3 tops out at 3.
You guys remember that super deluxe box set that was like $500?
No, yeah. It came in like a safe. That was for Appetite, right?
Yes.
What about the Beatles Apple one? It was shaped like an apple.
Well, that was just, I have that. That's the USB stick. Yeah. But this, they eventually started selling off the box set in pieces. So on the website, I just bought this for $20.
Are you going to make that a belt buckle? Like what is
it's heavy. This is metal. You see it here? This is brushed metal.
It's heavy metal.
Davis.
Wow.
So
beautiful.
Maybe we could add this to your box set to make up for the missing lemon stick.
That could put over the top. That actually is a VG plus.
The fact that the music doesn't match is just a subtlety.
Get an extra
roses, stone roses. Hey, they both have roses.
They both roses.
Yeah, you're right. And this, this had the entire box set on it. Did your stick have the entire contents of the box set in USB form?
Oh, way to rub it in his face. He's lost it. Did you miss that, Arnaldo? He doesn't know.
You could call it "Wake Up and Smell the Roses" on that one.
You know, it probably would have had all of the extras on this on the stick too, not just the album. I can't remember. That was so long ago.
Have you tried eBay? Maybe you'll find something.
Oh no! He's late at night. He's looking for that lemon glow thumb drive.
Found one.
Got it. Oh, great story. Love it. All right, Rojas, you got. I don't know if you could top that. That's pretty strong. Trying to top a lemon thumb drive is going to be tough, but you're up to the challenge. What do you got?
What orifice are you going to be coming out of for this?
Well, I was going to show that my stereo copy of Sgt. Pepper tape.
Oh, geez, Louise.
You
Holy
know,
Moses, smell the roses.
if we bake this, and only if Kevin Gray can get his hands on the Sgt. Pepper tape, it could only sound better.
Sorry, Kevin. We
Right.
you almost made it a full show without mentioning Kevin. I'm sorry.
Man.
Man.
So I don't want to show the tape, right? I wanted to show this. I wanted to show my crappy copy of Jimi Hendrix mono. So there's tape here. The spine is done,
Yeah.
right? This would be an Arnaldo like G plus, right?
Oh, this is poor. This is poor.
So what's broken there?
L for lousy.
Yeah, both seams are split to all the way through, right?
Oh, that's
Yes.
a 4. That's not even a G.
What if you use an easy seam to rebuild the seams inside, Arnaldo? Would you upgrade it then?
Well, no, you artificially.
Oh no.
Yeah.
That downgrades it, actually.
Yes.
You're better to
I'd rather
leave
have
it alone.
like that, because once you introduce modern technology, then you're messing up the artifact.
Like that USB, for example. No,
Right. Can you read the title on the spine, Jason? Oh, it's
No.
totally gone. It's blown
totally
out.
gone.
Oh man, it's 3 ways to Sunday. That's what we call that here in the Midwest.
So
I don't know. It has
Yeah,
ribs
that's-
on the front and the back, right?
So everyone would grade this poor.
That's a
I mean,
maybe
the
a G.
the artwork.
Maybe a G.
Did somebody write on it? What's in the upper? Is it just say mono print? Upper right hand when you're facing the front. What does that say? Does it just say
No,
mono?
it says mono.
Okay, I just want to make sure somebody didn't write on it. That would.
I mean, it doesn't look like it has a lot of groove. Is that tape on the top?
Yeah.
Oh,
no.
man, no, that's
That's when you know it's well loved.
They tried.
They're keeping it together.
well. I have to confess, when I was a kid and I had seam splits on the inner, I put tape.
Oh, Arnaldo, that is so.
I was
tacky.
10 years old. What did I know?
what do you? Yeah.
Look how far you've come, Arnaldo. Look at it. All right. So Arnaldo, you're going to give the cover. What do you grade it?
We're going between. Is there a P plus or a G minus?
Oh, P plus. Oh no.
Wow.
There's a G plus.
wait,
There's
hold on.
G plus
Hold on.
plus.
What's below G? It's fair.
Below G is poor and fair.
Which is worse, fair or poor?
Fair.
Fair is
Fair than
I think-
poor.
All right, so this is a fair.
than-
It's a fair.
I agree with that, David.
Yeah,
What do you think?
I won't
I
say
agree.
poor. Poor is when it's half of it's torn off, or
poor is when you put it in the trash.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
Chris,
the definition.
DC. What do you think? Is this fair in your grading eyes?
When you look at this cover, are you experienced? That's the question, right?
We're
Given
obviously not experienced enough to guess this, I guess. But
given the age, I would say that it's fair.
All right, we
Yeah.
Fair plus.
fair
Yeah.
plus. Oh,
That
man.
ain't no-
Now
no,
we're
no,
throwing
no,
some
no.
pluses into it. Okay.
Then we would look at the record, right? You
Okay.
know. So
I
this
think-
is the original tricolor
Yep,
reprise.
yep.
Okay. Now it does have some marks that you cannot really see. You know.
No, it looks. You could have fooled me. That's how you should do the auctions, Jason.
Oh man, I should just say like it's a promo, so money. So you can't really see it here. I don't know if I
No,
can get it.
I
better.
buy stickers. It's a
Yeah,
promo.
this is the harder part. So,
But you can see that scratch. Can you see it?
No.
Right there.
Yes, I could see the scratch.
Okay.
Right
So
there.
Scratch, I could
At
see.
that angle.
Yep.
Any feelies? Can you feel them to the
Yeah,
touch?
is it a feeler or a squealer?
I like
No, it's
so
not.
no feelies. So it looks worse than it could be. Okay.
We would put this in the humdinger, and it would be VG plus plus plus.
Oh, now I see all the stuffs. Now that you put it,
Oh no.
Yes, there you go.
Oh,
There
you
you go.
lost
I see
Arnaldo
it.
on that now.
There you go.
that is. Ooh, if it, how does it play?
Probably like low. No, G plus. I'll be
I
conservative.
would. Not
Totally.
playing it. I would call that a G. Not playing it.
I would say G plus only because it looks like the label's in good shape. But
Can you hear more music or can you hear more?
Well, actually, like I would not recommend buying this at all,
oh, okay.
just because it doesn't sound good. Not
Oh,
not because of the condition, but
we've got it. We've got it. Novice Nick says
Yes.
the seal hasn't been broken. It's a VG maybe. This is a new grade. VG maybe.
like this.
But Jason owned it, so that pulls it up. More
That's
now.
true. That's true.
Right. I said it's a promo, right? So there, and then I'm going to put an in-groove sticker on it. So therefore,
Oh, yeah, we haven't even touched that one.
Well, that adds 20% to anything.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Alimony tax on that one. Okay. I would. I think I'm gonna say good. I'm gonna say good plus, just because I think that the label still is, because that's what people are looking for, right? Like, if
Yes.
the record's bunk, the tricolor is the one that's called out the most.
but I mean, I'm being honest now. Like I'll be honest. Like I would not seek this out. This does not sound good.
Sure. It's like you got it. It's but it's not the one you want to end up with. Is that safe to say?
Correct.
Okay. Oh, hang on. We've problem solved. John is here. Bip bop boom. Just put a Hendrix autograph on the cover.
That's right.
500 easy. 500. 500. All right. Well, let me show mine, and then we'll get off of this one, and then we'll continue to entertain and disdain many of the masses. So, where this really came from, where this topic, love it or hate it, let me know in the comments. My local had this record. Now, this is probably the first jazz record I've bought maybe in months. I'm kind of like, I'm on a what they call it, conscious uncoupling with jazz right now. Not for any reason. Not my bag right now. And I already have, this is a Love Supreme John Coltrane. I have a stereo first press I got years ago at the Chicagoland Record Fair. Shout out to Chicago people. It's a great copy. VG plus. No more pluses because I don't roll like that too often. But if I would, I'd say a VG plus. So my local had this. As you can see, this spine, it looks like a pterodactyl was carrying it in its mouth for miles and miles and miles, and then dropped it off at my local. These covers have laminate. The laminate's peeling. I don't know if you can see that. Seam split. I did not repair here at the bottom. But then we look at the record, and they disclose this. They said it plays better than it looks, which is always a challenge accepted in my mark. Red label. The Immortal, as I told the guys beforehand, Al Parrott owned this copy. Al Parrott. Friend of mine, friend of yours, Al Parrott used to own this. But wouldn't you know, when I played it, you wouldn't even know. Like in the quiet parts, you can hear a little bit of the Rice Krispies. But when the music's on, it is strong. So, you've seen the cover, you've seen the record. Guys, how would you grade this one? Help me out. Because I'm doing the Discogs this weekend. It's official. We're officially dating after this. Is everyone asleep?
The record or the cover?
Either one. I mean, let's stick to the cover. The cover is obviously the most.
I think the cover's a VG.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say G plus. David, what do you think?
No,
I think it's VG. Because the seminal parts of it are in.
Yeah,
really
I mean,
look
like
good.
you can still see Love Supreme. It's one of those folded spines that kind of it's not centered, unfortunately, but and then the peeling. So VG, wow, that's interesting. Chris, what do you think? I know you're a big jazz fan, and I know you're a big John Coltrane fan.
Question: You're showing it inside the sleeve. Is there?
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. Let me remove it from this Vinyl Storage Solution sleeve because they only do make the best sleeves out there. So yeah, so here's.
Is there still shine on the cover?
Oh yeah, hang on. Let me make myself a big here. Let's go here. So yeah, you're right. So yeah, see, there's where the guinea pigs were trying to get in through the center. The cover does. Yeah, so it's got gloss. I mean, it's got the laminate, right? You just have a little bit of tearing, kind of over here, a little bit of peeling. See, you can kind of see it in the light there. So it's coming up a little bit. But back cover, there's some kind of like mark from somebody might have handled it weird, and the gatefold, no tears in the gatefold, no writing, nice and white, crisp.
I'd say, given the age, VG plus.
For the cover, all right.
Yeah.
I like this. This is guys, you're making my day because I was gonna.
I'm more on the VG side.
So
Me too.
VG plus Rojas. What do you think?
Maybe like I didn't. I mean, as soon as you showed the spine, like I think that may be too important. I would say like a G plus. You know.
See, that's where I was leaning because
you want to see the spine. Like on my copy of the mono here.
Oh
right?
yeah, I just got Rojas everywhere. Look at this. I totally Rojas.
You've got to go harder, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see what yours looks like, Jason.
What do you mean?
Now you look at the definition; it's a VG.
You know, but unfortunately, like someone's been rough. Someone's been rough.
Okay,
with
you got a
Been
seam
rough.
split at the bottom.
you know.
Okay, so yours is still a VG.
It meets the definition in gold mine.
Oh,
it-
you got a split at the end.
Oh God.
No, man, you're trying to
Disgusting.
pass this off as
Seams, yeah, but in the standard it says seam splittings will be more obvious in a VG.
So
It may
in,
appear-
in the notes, we say we played the cover, right? We threw the cover in the humdinger, right? So VG plus, right?
no, it's a VG.
Only
Let's
1995.
see the back of it.
That's right,
It's
Billy
a
Mays,
VG.
1995.
It's
And
a
let's see
VG.
the inside.
Yeah.
Is that tape I see
I
there?
don't know what yours is.
Blue
Yes,
tape.
it is.
Oh
Dude.
my gosh, this
I
is
think
getting worse.
I think this copy was owned by Arnaldo.
Blue tape.
Yeah.
I think a dog pissed on that.
Yeah, that's why John Coltrane's mad. He
Let's see
noticed
the
this.
inside. Let's see the inside.
Excuse me?
There you go.
All right, that's equal to chances. All right.
Well, I think Chance is better. Like you can
Yeah,
see
he's got a little discoloration, I think. On that one.
Okay.
Yeah, chances is a VG. There's no doubt.
What the heck?
Pants doesn't have tape on it. Maybe you guys should. How's your copy? Is it better than Chance's?
No, mine was
Hold
on
up,
my
hold
Al
up.
Parrot. Okay, come on.
Smells like 1964 for sure.
Ooh, that was a
So
good
it's
year.
moldy.
Wow.
But I
Well,
think
smells
like maybe
like-
One moment, please. In your telephone number, we have caller ID.
Jesus.
Oh, your label looks a bit faded.
Yes.
Boy, they're picking yours apart, Jason. They're like,
I know. They're upset, right?
Hey, you whipped it out.
I know. Not everyone could just whip out a
No.
This is true.
Love Supreme mono.
This is true. Even us, or at least speaking for myself, not genuine record collectors, we do find a diamond in the rough once in a while.
Still, amazing fine Chance. Really.
Well, I was surprised, and I almost didn't buy it just because that spine was so bad. And again, I saw it online first, but I was like, you know what? At worst, I looked up comps. At worst, I can get my money back. If I bring it home and it doesn't play well, I'll just move it on to the next guy because look it up. It's not cheap, but I didn't pay those prices. I'll just say that. Oh, hang on. Oh, Brian is here. My man Fort Worth Brian, Boot Trader. He says, how can you prove that Al Parrot owned it? Because he wrote his name on it. He autographed it. Like that actually takes it up a level. So everyone's saying VG. I'm going up VG plus because who else can say they have Al Parrot's copy? No one. That's who.
That's true.
Anyway, well, guys, this was an interesting journey. I didn't know where it would go. It went some interesting places. But we're going to wrap up podcast proper. I'm probably going to cut and chop and do that segment for the freestyle because here we are almost at the hour plus. But we'll wrap the pod proper. I want to thank my guests. Stick around. More coming. David Bianco back. Everyone's back. Me and Rojas have been holding down the fort, but David Bianco, appreciate the present plan information. Glad to have you back, sir.
Yep. Thanks.
Then Arnaldo, he was touring the seas and the Italias, and he was getting Italian ices, and he was in Amsterdam. The world tour is concluded, and he's back to service notice. Arnaldo, welcome back.
It's good to be back.
And then Jason Rojas, it was just me and you. We're here almost every week.
Yeah, not every day, you can get a stereo copy of the Beatles' Sgt. Pepper.
That's fair. That's fair. So, Jason, thanks for joining us. And then the guest, who I hope comes back. Next time we're going to have a metal-specific topic. Well, I might even frame a metal show around my favorite name in the community, Depeche Commode. Chris, for whatever reason, not invited in the Chicago gatherings. I think it's a travesty. I mean, what a joke.
I was stood up like a girl getting stood up on prom night.
Unbelievable.
Oh, no.
Unbelievable. That's
baloney.
That's
it
right,
doesn't
Judge
make
Judy.
sense.
That's right. It doesn't make sense. Well, Chris, great debut to Surface Noise. Hope to have you back soon, sir.
Thank you.
All right. Now, you know what they say. A 1 and a 2. How about you? So, David, I think you have to drop off. Is that right? All right. Well, David,
Yeah, I do.
appreciate you. See you
Thanks,
next
everybody.
time. Thanks.
Chris,
That's all.
nice meeting you. Thanks for joining. Jason,
thank you.
Arnaldo, have a great show. Talk to you later.
All right. Well, a truncated freestyle. I know Tom. If Tom is still here, this is his favorite segment, the freestyle. We don't have any plan because it's a true. This is a true freestyle. We didn't run over on any of our stuff. But what is going on? I know. I think it was last week we dissected the new UHQR announcement. Arnaldo, do you want to pile on? Because in our little group thread, you were not real happy that they made this wonderful announcement of the Art Pepper and the Sonny Rollins, but yet they have no information on your pre-ordered, mind you, Bob Marley's. How do you feel as a Acoustic Sounds customer right now?
What the hell?
What the hell?
We still want to keep it G, right? This probably is the only show that you've had in a while that has a G rating. So what the hell?
This is true. Yeah, when the bonger isn't here, I can make this for children. I can set the setting for kids. Yes.
I don't know. Again, there are a lot of moving parts about scheduling releases, right? It's very possible these were scheduled. The announcement of the 2 UHQRs were already scheduled to come out before the Marleys. But come on, you took my money 6 months ago. And they're not even in sight. And they're just moving capacity to do other titles that have been pressed over and over and over again that no one gives a shit about.
Well, see, we were doing so good, Arnaldo. And then I knew we had to give you the stage because we knew you needed to get this off your chest. And so this is why we're giving you the forum, because you weren't here last week when we
People have those records in multiple copies. Give them the Marleys, right?
Yeah, give the people the air. Give the people the Mollies. Come on, unbelievable. So I know someone else, Chris, is someone else who I'm sure pre-ordered all the UHQRs. No, I'm just kidding. Let's talk. I do want to talk to you since you're here and you led off, and obviously your background CDs.
Yeah.
Jason was kind of talking about earlier, and it's something I've noticed recently too, is that like this is I mean, we make the joke CDs are back and yada yada. But honestly, this is part of something that I've been seeing in different places. Bill Maher had Billy Joel on his podcast this week and was talking about it too. Young people, kind of like probably a lot of us got into vinyl in the first place. It was a cost-effective way of collecting physical music. What's your impression? Because you've been buying CDs all along. What is your impression? Are you seeing the same things? Like, is it? I mean, obviously you're like into certain things, the metal and etc. Like, do you think it's more competitive for CDs or harder to find CDs for you?
Well, I think it's a couple things. CD isn't as high maintenance as vinyl, and the big thing is the cost for the used market. I mean, new records now are, I think, $25 maybe for just a single,
That's a cheap price too.
Yeah. I mean, things nowadays, it's like $25 to $35 is probably the average for just a single LP. CDs, and this is the thing, because I've been buying physical media since the 90s. I'm still carrying around a lot of stuff that I had since then. There was a time where you could go to a used record store and get a used LP and pay like $6 for it. Those days are long gone.
Yep.
You know, even flea markets, antique shops, you know, all of those.
Everyone knows
They're
the
charging.
jig is up. Yep.
They're charging insane prices just for a used LP now, all because of eBay and Discogs.
Christopher Cross, his first album used to be a $2 staple. Good luck finding it for less than $8. I mean, unbelievable.
Yeah, and because of that, people are going back to CDs because they're like, you know, there's a lot to do with vinyl where it's like, if you do it the right way, you need to clean it. You know, you need to discharge the static. Oh, well, and then you need jackets and, you know, to store it and protect it. And I mean, we still love the large format and holding it and looking at it. That's what music fans, but music fans still just want the physical media. And I think really it comes down to cost, and that the used market is probably out of reach for a lot of people, or the cost is just not practical for used vinyl.
Yeah, I honestly, I think it started with the new vinyl prices going up. Mm-hmm. Even my local was on the news recently. One of my locals talking about, used vinyl prices are going up too. Just trying to be market commensurate. Are they paying more for it? Maybe, I don't know. But I got to be honest. I've been looking at CDs. Like, I would never go into my record store and look at CDs. I'm looking at CDs now because Bit Bob John makes a great point. So much music isn't available on vinyl. CDs are great, especially for, wait for it, 90s music.
Yeah, and another thing too is I'm seeing record stores doing this now too, where the retail price that they'll charge for an album will be the manufacturer's suggested retail price,
MSRP,
plus what you would pay in shipping if you bought it online.
Oh no!
Yeah, they're adding that in.
What store is this? I want to out these fools.
I've seen a few where.
Is it Bucket of Blood? Bucket of Blood? Is it them?
Well, I'm not going to mention any names.
Fair enough.
But,
you do have to shop there. All right, fair enough.
But I see that especially with you know, albums that I buy that would normally be you know, for like UK releases, because also like you know, metal, the pressing quantities are, you know, abysmal compared to kind of like a lot of rock and stuff like that. So sometimes you're limited to where it needs to be an import because that's all that's available is an import. Well, then shipping for that import would cost $10. So then the retailer here in the States is charging the manufacturer's suggested retail price plus tacking on the additional $10 you would have paid for shipping.
That's criminal. I'm sorry. That's something else. That's scandalous. Arnaldo, would you do that if your local had a CD and then they slapped on a $7 freight charge?
CDs? I mean, I have stores that I go to that have tons of CDs available. And they're still very competitively priced. Unless it's hard to find one, it never goes over $8, you know, $9 maybe. But even when I was traveling, I looked, there were plenty of stores in the UK that still had CDs. And because I actually browsed for a couple of CDs myself. And yeah, I think we're going, I remember in 87, I was visiting, because I was still living in Italy. I visited in 87, and CDs were just the next hot thing. I remember I bought my very first CD on that trip. It was Sgt. Pepper, because they had just did the campaign for all the Beatles CDs. Remember when they came out in the long boxes?
Yeah, long box.
So that was my very first CD purchase. And I remember it was $12.99, and it was the same price as a record at the time. But if I went to used record stores, I remember picking up for a friend a copy of, I mean, it wasn't in great shape, of Superfly. It was $2. And at the time, everyone was selling off their collections. All these records that people are buying for $300, that cold trade was probably $5 in at a store at some point.
Al Parrott bought it for $5. That's the mystery.
Yeah, just like my Sergeant Pepper mono, it was probably $10.
Yeah.
Or not even, because you know how many of those sold and people got rid of them because, hey, the Beatles just put out all their CDs, all their music on CD. So there was like, what do I need the album anymore for, right? And everyone was selling off their collections. So I think that's kind of happening now. I don't know. I mean, I could be wrong. The CD stores that I go to are still, you can shop for CDs at a much cheaper price than for a record. You know, I still go to Academy, the one on 18th Street, and most of my CD collection came from that store when I was buying CDs in like mid to late 90s. I was picking up stuff for $4.99, $5.99, and the prices haven't changed that much either.
You know, what I find interesting too is not just the CD things, like, and again, it feels like part of the narrative is young people want to own physical media. It costs a barrier a lot cheaper with CDs, or at least it was until this show. Yeah. But even like things like iPods, like there's a whole sub niche of people buying old iPods, retrofitting them, taking out the guts, and putting in flash drive memories and stuff. And matter of fact, Felipe did one for me, one of mine. Jazz Bum Felipe did his little side hustle for me. But I'm finding it very interesting that the young people are kind of leaving a lot of this, because I think, to Chris's point earlier, with the price of vinyl, this is almost a natural byproduct that when a brand new record like Lorde, Taylor Swift, Sabrina Carpenter, brand new record, one discer, $30 to $40. Chapel Roan puts one out, same price. A year later, 1 year anniversary, like all these gimmicks are now kind of saturating the new market. So you got price and gimmicks. And then the used is definitely like, the prices are not softening. In fact, I think they're escalating to the point where like we were talking about, I picked up a Nick Drake UK first recently, of 5 Leaves Left. Not cheap, admittedly, not cheap, but like that's the price you pay now. It really is. And it stinks on some levels. But the other piece of this too is part of the CD thing, like Arnaldo was talking about in 87, late 80s, early 90s. CDs you could take mobile, Discmans, cars. These cars don't have CDs.
The changers in the trunk, right?
Oh yeah, the big changers. Yeah, so I mean, like, the reason I say all this, I'm just wondering if companies are listening to what's kind of going on in this sense, because you want to be ahead of the curve, not behind the curve or following trend. You know, I'm curious, like, are CD players coming back in cars? Like you would think. I don't know. This is what do you think, Jason? What do you think?
I don't think so.
You don't think so, Arnaldo?
No.
Jason, what do you think?
You know, my 6 CD changer in my car still working strong. So
boom. Doesn't get interference from the subwoofers, the big subs. No. Tweeters, the tweeters in the steering column. No.
No.
Well, here's another fact. There are the country genre is big on CD. The amount of CDs that the country artists sell outweighs the vinyl that they're selling. So I think it's on a case by case. If a new jazz record came out, most likely,
yes.
It won't even be pressed on CD. Maybe, I don't know, but I find that maybe certain genres prefer certain formats.
Yeah, because if you're ever on a road trip and you stop at a truck stop or something, they'll always have the rack of cassettes and CDs, and a lot of those guys out driving, they're driving a 15-year-old truck that probably still has a tape deck.
Chevy S10, baby, let's go! Come on,
yeah,
Ford Ranger. Very true.
Well, and another thing too about CDs, the price is inflation proof. I remember, back in the 90s, a brand new CD costing $18.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Oh, it's criminal.
Wow, that's crazy, you know. And
You can't price a single CD anymore at that price.
yeah, CDs nowadays, the ones I buy, usually a lot of mail order, between $10 to $15.
Yeah, the highest front line we have is like $14.99, and that's, you know, really pushing it. Otherwise, retail price is usually $12.99, $13.99, and the markup, the margin on the CD is still greater than the markup on the record.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, just think of the components. Jewel case, just plastic. Petroleum costs are relatively flat, so the plastic.
Oh, it costs $1.
Yeah, all right. So jewel case is $1. The disc.
No, the whole thing is $1.
Oh, the whole. So you're calling booklet, jewel case, disc, $1.
If it's nothing fancy, it's going to be $1, $1.25.
Wow.
Pushing it $1.50, and your wholesale is $9.
Hang on a second. KRWD is trying to start some trouble. The Acoustic Sounds SACD is a bargain at $35 over the album. Wow.
I wish Super Audio CD would gain in popularity, because I have a few MoFi and Acoustic Sound Super Audio CDs, and I think it's I also have a good stereo system too, but it's I wish that metal labels would adopt Super Audio CD. It will never happen, unfortunately, but I wish that that format would gain some traction.
That's fair. Well, let's close it with one more, because something was on my crawl this week, and I think is on a crawl. And somebody brought it up earlier. I got to go to the save comments. This is a tough one. The doctor, Johnny Fever, mentioned this. MoFi announcing the Stevie Nicks Belladonna one step. So go around the dais. Because if you recall, let's do a quick history lesson. If you recall, less than 6 months ago, our friends at Rhino made one. They made their high fidelity series.
But that's the best one. Right?
Well, I don't know.
Everyone in the VC hyped it up.
Well,
there were so many infomercials about it.
Listen, back to a year ago, our friends at Vinyl Me Please did a Starlight, color variant. So this is an album that is not in short supply. It is a Record Store Day did a version, anniversary edition. Again, it's
that one's double disc. just saying.
Quit your shilling. Quit shilling.
I'm just trying to hype it up, bros. Come on, man. But that one had bonus 2 LP.
Yeah, you can hear Jimmy Iovine moaning in the background and some of the extras.
Stevie Nicks, come on.
Here's my question for the panel as we wrap this presentation up. Why? Chris, are you going to... I have a hard time thinking you are the target market for a Stevie Nicks Belladonna one-step, $125 presentation. Am I wrong?
Belladonna... I have a copy. I remember a time when that was a staple in almost every used bin everywhere. I think just right now, there's all of the Fleetwood Mac stuff being reissued again on
every year.
Yeah, and so it's like, let's if there's someone out there, and I like Fleetwood Mac. I have the Palace pressing of Rumors, and I have the two MoFis. Tango in the Night is my favorite Fleetwood Mac. And Mirage. So I have the MoFis of those. I want to get the new self-titled on Rhino Hi-Fi. But they're like, well, hell, if there's someone out there buying all of those ones, then they're going to want Belladonna. I won't pay $125. I'm fine with my $2 copy of Belladonna.
Same here. So Arnaldo, I see you simmering. You're simmering on this one. Are you ready to explode like a fire hydrant that's been capped?
I thought it was a meme. I came up on my feed, and someone was posting the box of the one step and Belladonna. I'm like, when was this announced? To the point where I went to the MoFi site to look at the pre-orders. I'm like, that has to be a meme. They're joking. Because I'm like, right? Why would they want to do that? But then again, one step forward with MoFi and 2 steps backwards.
Correct. We were giving them flowers. Arnaldo, you probably missed it. We were giving MoFi a couple weeks ago flowers, saying, maybe the sound quality is okay, but at least they're trying. They're taking swings. Stone Temple Pilots, New York Dials, Alanis Morissette. They're trying. They're outside the box, at least in the curation. Execution, different story, different conversation. But for Pete's sake, at some point, like these are I call them doorknob titles. Everyone's taking a turn. Wait about 6 months. Breaking news. Acoustic Sounds has partnered with only the best. Matthew Freitas has redone Belladonna. It's better than the tapes. Buy now, cry later. Right? Like that's coming because Ryan, I mean, we just named them. Everyone is taking a turn on this, guys. It's like the movie business. We're just going to keep recycling the same IP. It's just safe. We don't want to lose money. We don't want to, I mean, it's unbelievable. I don't know what to say.
I'm going to say this. No one's actually made a video about the original LP being the best version out there, right?
Challenge, throwing down the challenge. Shootout Master. Come on.
Well, that's what the audiophile reissue labels do, is they keep reissuing all of the same stuff over and over. It used to be that way with jazz, and then a lot of certain types of classic rock and all of that. It's the same things, and I know that it all comes down to licensing, but how many audiophile reissues of Kind of Blue are real? Do we really?
You need one more. You just need one more. Come on. Everyone knows the latest one is the best one.
We've got breaking news. We've got Kind of Blue. This is Miles Davis's Neighbors copy, promo press from. I mean, it's out of control. I'm never going to get another Acoustic Sounds record again, am
I? Well, I think I made that parody video, so
no. So
we're
do
banned.
We know for sure? Was it a meme or?
No, it's a real deal. It's a real.
But it hasn't been announced.
It has.
Where I just went on the MoFi site.
It's
today.
an email. Like I got the email. That's when Jose.
Right.
That's when Jose was like, "No way!" Like,
no, wait a minute. Wait, but it's not on the site for pre-order, correct?
Should be.
I checked. I want to say it was yesterday.
Oh no, Arnaldo. I hate to prove you wrong, fella, but this is how we're gonna run the show. We're gonna go share screen, and here it is. Can you believe it?
Oh man, so it's real. It's real.
For the low price of $125.
I don't get it. I really don't. Like, I don't even get MoFi's decision to want to it's double 45.
Yeah, let's use some capacity making this.
No, because I'm like, why, if Rhino unless this was in the can and then Rhino Hi-Fi played them and just threw out that Belladonna Rhino Hi-Fi.
What?
If I were MoFi, I'd be like, no, I'm not doing it because you're going to do it. How many times are people going to buy this album?
Hey, don't forget, Novice Nick's here, plus shipping. So don't forget, you can't even get free shipping anymore on these expensive titles. What's going on?
How dare you say that, Arnaldo? That Rhino would be that evil? Come on.
You think they played them?
Man, come on. Arnaldo, just because there's unnumbered Sabbath, Rhino Hi-Fis out there, unnumbered Cars, unnumbered Television, Marquee Moon, man, I still trust in Rhino.
Good news. There's 4,000 copies. 4,000. Wow. So, buy now. Buy later.
4,000 for now.
Maybe we should do a little research and see how many of the titles from these one steps that have come out in the last year, how many of them are still in stock?
Just go to Music Direct, Arnaldo. Just go to the used section, It's
I don't
used,
know.
but near mint.
I think it's just, I don't know how they go into an agreement to want to do a license like that without safeguarding the fact that there's not going to be competition, because it's not a very smart business decision.
Well, John Bandy, he makes a good. This is a formula. It's a money-making scheme. Always has been. Two demographics: old guys that upgrade and newbies that don't know better. They count on both.
Yeah, I know, but how many times are people going to really buy that album?
MoFi thinks 4,000.
Again, Arnaldo, let me just like hypnotize you. The most recent one is the best one. You know.
Oh, I need a sound effect for the voodoo spell. We'll work on that one. All right. Well, as everyone is rushing out to pre-order this title, you're welcome. MoFi, you know the address.
On that one step, you're going to get more of that dove on that cover. You will. You're going to hear that.
Is it going to be extra wild wing dove? Is it going to be extra?
You know, there's a reason why that tambourine is on the lower left of that album cover, and the dove is like high up there.
Is there any truth to the rumor that, because Stevie had to cancel some shows? She's on tour right now, and her shows through, I think, end of September are going to be rescheduled. She separated her shoulder. Is it possible that they sent her the test pressing and she was so dejected with the quality, she threw it across the room and threw out her labrum? Is it possible? Because they haven't disclosed how she hurt herself. I think it's this. The MoFi One Step did it to her.
No, she heard that they were going to repress and reissue Buckingham Nicks. Duh. Come on.
Well, I did pre-order that one. Sorry. I'm a glutton for punishment. All right, gang. Good hang. Depeche Commode. We've made history tonight. A pleasure. Hope to have you back.
Hope you find that lemon USB.
Yeah, listen, if you're not motivated more than ever to find that USB stick, once Jose gets wind of this, I think he will be excited to motivate you to do so.
There's one thing. I pulled another record that I wanted to show. It was going back to. Can I show just one more that
absolutely. I was? Listen, man, absolutely. This is your stage. Let's go.
Like comparing vinyl to CD.
Okay.
So, and then now this is Violator by Depeche Mode. Yeah. Okay, so this is my all-time number one favorite song of all time is Enjoy the Silence. And so I love this album. This is probably like in one of my top 10 all-time favorite albums. I have an OG. I just didn't have it readily available to show it tonight. And then this is a remaster that came out in like the early 2010s or something like that I got. I think it's the same one that you can buy now for like $25 in the store.
How is it compared to the OG?
Here's the thing. The difference, I haven't really kind of scrutinized the difference between this and the OG. But what I also have is the CDs. I have this is the what is it? Yeah, the Mute. This one that everyone here is familiar with. You've seen this everywhere. So I have this one. Then I have this. I guess this is a legitimate. It's called a blue disc spec, and I'm not sure what it is exactly. I don't even think that these were for sale in North America. I think maybe it's
I think they're only Japan.
I don't know. It's weird that there's the printing on the cover right here of because in the 2000s they reissued the Depeche Mode catalog as 2 CD sets. Now in Europe there was the versions of those also had a super audio CD layer. It was a hybrid disc. Which I had that one a while, and I sold it a while ago, and I regret that. So I was thinking that maybe this is like a boot that's a rip of the SA CD layer, possibly. I still don't really know what the whole blue disc spec is because it's not a Blu-ray disc or anything, and it plays in an ordinary CD player. And I think it's still just Red Book standard of 1644-1. So I'm not sure what that is. But then what I also have here is this is an OG UK CD, which was a different master. And out of the OG vinyl, the remastered vinyl, and then all the 3 different CDs that I have, the UK OG CD is the best sounding by far. And again, this album came out in 1989, so that was still at the time where they were prioritizing CD over vinyl. So yeah, this is called the Stum 64 is the mute, what Mute was using for I guess for the UK releases for the whatever it's called, like the catalog number. So yeah, that's I thought I would just show these off.
So wait a minute. Let's back up. You're saying that the UK CD that came out in 1989 is the best sounding version of Violator.
Yeah, of the ones that I've heard.
You know what I'm sensing? I'm sensing a Rojas challenge. It feels like a Pepsi challenge is coming, because I could see the gears grinding.
Yes. I'm like, oh, really? Okay.
Well, that's fascinating. If it's true, I guess I never really considered it. That like different countries, different mastering, like.
It's it's kind of like when you think about Black Sabbath and how their early catalog, they're the Vertigo masters and then the Warner Brothers masters. Why they weren't using the same master, I don't know. I don't work in that industry, but there was a different master used for the UK CD. So
as opposed to what I find puzzling, as opposed to the vinyl, where it requires more of a physical process to press the vinyl. So you're giving the affiliate in the US a copy of the master, or the cutting may differ once it comes to the US. I don't know this, but at the time the CDs were always files, right? So I think if it got mastered originally in the UK, they'd use the same file and they'd send it to the US, for example. So I've never done a comparison of a US pressed CD and a UK or wherever, because I was going under the assumption that because they're digital, the file was
universal. It
was universal in the sense that it was easier to just send over a file rather than a lacquer that could get damaged, or a what is it called, the father or the mother, the stamp or whatever it is, and just send over a copy of the tape and let the affiliate take care of the mastering in their territory. So that was my assumption. I could be wrong because I've never done a comparison between CDs at the time, because I always assumed that pretty much it was the same file.
We're now going to rebrand as a CD community channel.
Maybe we should.
Hey, the opportunity is knocking. Hey, real quick, Chris. Tom asks, are you using a Delta Sigma or ladder DA converter? I have no idea what any of this means. Hopefully you do.
Delta Sigma.
See how quick I was like, oh man.
I have a very nice stack. So,
a nice stack. There you go, Tom. Nice stack.
And I have my CD player I modded myself, and I use a digital coax connection for it. So I went to that length where I actually modded my CD player.
Attaboy. Yeah. I can appreciate that. Good stuff. Well, I enjoyed it. Again, anytime you learn new things, man, you got me on the edge of my seat. So, Chris, I appreciate that. Learned several things.
And you planted a seed. Now,
that's the worst part. He planted a seed about the different.
Because I do have double CD, like doubles of CDs, one pressed in one country and one pressed in another. Now I'm curious.
Well, and it kind of it makes me wonder too, is that okay, if something is pressed here in the States or pressed in the UK, that the entire chain isn't the same equipment, probably. There's probably a different plating. I mean, with CDs, it's glass stampers, and
Right.
so so it needs to. It's the same way with I worked in publishing for a while, and printing presses work that way too, where one company, their printing presses are calibrated this way and all of that. So I guess maybe that the mastering is to accommodate the manufacturing of the physical, because of just the standards that are required for that equipment.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess we're gonna have to. Jason, are you gonna take this?
I think take the mantle, take the Pepsi challenge, take the plunge.
I'm gonna say to the panel, I have a dual CD player.
Of course.
I could go there.
You could go there. Well, food for thought.
And like Depeche Commode, I am using the optical connection.
Oh.
Well, I use the SPDIF connection.
Oh, oof.
Oh my gosh. I'm getting turned on.
I think I'm using the optical on mine.
I'm so out of place right now. I think I need to wrap this one up before I.
CDs are back. Just heads up.
CDs are back again.
Yeah.
And listen, you didn't think we could take our usual Chris, the Groove Seeker, and replace him with potentially an upgrade in CD department. We got him.
And the same name as Chris. We got another Chris.
I know. It's a Chris for Chris week. And I got to be honest, Groove Seeker, your work's cut out for you because Depeche Commode brought the goods.
Well, Groove Seeker is stepping on the streaming side, so we got to watch out for that guy.
Nah, this is true. This is true. He is. He may abandon CDs and go straight to streaming. And
yeah, the high end streaming.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the one with what's that company called?
What Tonal?
No,
or Tidal? No,
not Tidal. The other company.
Cubuzz.
Yes, Cubuzz. Yeah, that one. That has the high res.
Oh man,
yeah.
Oh man, that sounds like what's Jason's term? Snake oil. That sounds like a lot of snake oil to me. But what do I know? I just work here. All right, fans, music fans everywhere. I think we had a very liberating show. Hit the like button, hit that dislike button. Share your thoughts. Are CDs back? Did we change your mind? Listen, even better, if CDs are back and you need to unload those heavy, dirty records, holla at your boy. Holla at your boy. I will lighten your load in more ways than one. Thank you, back. Oh, and is this the Beach Boys CD box set, Rojas?
Yeah, this thing's selling for over 100 now.
Oh man, wow. Unbelievable
Money.
Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. I mean, I even have
Beach Boys and missing stuff. The smile box, the one with the diorama.
Yeah.
Right.
That's crazy money.
I saw it at a store. I was at Princeton Record Exchange.
LP Rex, yeah.
And it had a crazy price on it. It was like $150, which I was like, man, that's a bargain. I go and grab it. CD1 is missing. And I'm like, no.
That's some grade A bullshit right there. That's all
I did also further research. CD1 is the official album, right?
Yes.
I figured I have the official album of that pressing, like of the Smile when it came out. I only bought the double disc, I think it was. And I went as far as checking the catalog number. And I was like, maybe I can Frankenstein it. And the catalog numbers are different from the single, like the regular and the box set. They changed the catalog number. Even though it's the same content, they changed it. So,
wow. Well, guys, a lot of fun. Oh, he's got it right there. Look at this.
This is the Analog Productions Smile. I also have
now try later.
CD.
They're not coming back.
This is true. All right. Well, guys, a lot of fun. I was going to play our outro video, but I think my computer is fried. So I hate to disappoint because we have all this excellent technology, but I think that's going to be doing it to do it. Thank my guests. Thank the gallery. And no outro. I don't know what the hell's going on. Having a real tech challenge show. So thanks. Signing off. See you next time, everybody.
Take care. Good night.
Oh.